Hello and welcome to This Week at the General Assembly for May 1st, 2015. In this week's show, we'll be discussing bills that affect broadband access in rural areas, school boards' relationships to the County Board of Commissioners, and several other bills in the North Carolina General Assembly as it wraps up crossover week. Remember that you can always find more information on any of the topics we discuss here by visiting www.ncacc.org. The state legislature passed one of its major deadlines this week, as bills that did not involve raising or spending money had to pass one chamber and move to the next or be ineligible for the remainder of the biennium. This crossover week typically involves many committee meetings, long floor sessions, and a large number of bills moving. By the completion of legislative business Thursday, 343 House bills had passed and been sent to the Senate, and 164 Senate bills passed and moved to the House. Next week, the General Assembly will begin more public work on the state budget. The two chambers alternate taking a first stab at the state's biennial spending plan, and it is the House's turn to begin that process. Legislation that involves either raising taxes or fees or appropriating state dollars will also see more movement. Let's start this week with a bill that affects the School Board and County Board of Commissioners relationship. Following a debate that lasted more than an hour and a half, the House voted not to approve House Bill 726, School Boards Can't Sue County, which would have accomplished one of the county's priority goals for this biennium. As a result, the bill will not be eligible for consideration for the remainder of the 2015-16 legislative session. Opponents of House Bill 726 argued that the authority to sue is rarely used by school boards, stating that there have been only 36 cases since the statute was enacted. NCACC advocacy staff countered that these lawsuits and the threat of litigation are being used more frequently by the school boards, creating an adversarial relationship between them and their boards of county commissioners.
We are seeing more of this litigation being proposed and these kinds of discussions happening. We would submit to you that this case is not yet resolved. Although it was sent down by the Court of Appeals, they overturned the trial court's rulings, they sent it back for a new trial. And so this was a funding request made in 2013 for the 13-14 fiscal year, and it's still not resolved. This is not the most expeditious way to resolve these disputes. We would submit that this issue could be addressed through the election process. The county commissioners are elected every 2 years. If it is believed that these appropriations are not sufficient to support the public education, they could be elected out of office. This case is an example of one that could go on for yet 2, maybe 3 more years before it's ultimately resolved. So we would ask for your support of it. Thank you.
Although the legislation ultimately failed, House members, including many of those who opposed the bill, acknowledged that the process was flawed, but felt that eliminating the ability to sue outright was not the solution. Thus, the issue remains, and the NCACC advocacy efforts will continue. NCACC would like to express its sincere thanks to the primary sponsors of House Bill 726, Representatives Howard Hunter from Hertford County, Jeff Collins from Nash County, Jonathan Jordan from Ashe County, and we extend a special thanks to primary sponsor Representative Deborah Conrad from Forsyth County for leading the effort on the bill and managing the debate on the issue.
The NCACC is proud to announce the Local Government Federal Credit Union Excellence and Innovation Awards Program for 2015. As a premier partner, the LGFCU supports NCACC by sponsoring such events as district meetings, the NC Attorneys and DSS Attorneys Conference, County Assembly Day, Welcome to Your County video programming, and as a conference-wide sponsor for our annual conference. For more information about the program, please visit the website that is on your screen.
Now we move on to broadband access in unserved areas. Despite growing support after the legislation was discussed in committee last week, House Bill 432, Counties/Internet Infrastructure, was not considered in the House Public Utilities Committee this week and did not meet crossover. Sponsored by Representatives Josh Dobson of McDowell County, along with Representatives Brian Holloway of Stokes, Burt Jones of Rockingham, and Mitchell Setzer of Catawba, House Bill 432 would give counties the authority to invest in infrastructure, such as conduit and fiber optic wire, to help attract private internet service providers to unserved and underserved areas. While this particular bill is no longer eligible for consideration, The issue is still an NCACC goal, and your advocates will continue to work on the issue with the bill sponsors and others to address concerns raised by legislators and segments of the telecommunications industry. Several other bills of interest to counties will continue their legislative journeys. A study of second primaries, including their frequency, cost, and continued need, is directed by House Bill 826, Study Repeal of Second Primaries. House Bill 730, County Provide 911 Dispatch Services, prohibits counties from charging a city within its boundaries for 911 services if the city adopts a resolution requesting the service. Under Senate Bill 566, disposition of minimal property tax refunds, a local government may choose not to mail tax refunds of less than $15, but apply it as a credit to next year's taxes. Property owners would be able to request the refund by visiting the tax office. Well, that's all we have for this week. If you would like more information on any of the topics we've discussed here, please visit www.ncacc.org. There you can subscribe to our legislative bulletin as well as follow us on social media. Thank you for joining us. We'll see you next week.